everybody, how's it going out there? It's Chris, Brandon, Four Directions Bushcraft. Well, we're just out here hiking, enjoying the weather. Well, one of the main reasons we brought you by is to check out the differences between our square quadratum fire steels and our circle elite fire steels. Now, we've named this the quadratum fire steel because of the four sides that it has and the four sharp edges that you can utilize to strike. Now, our other ones are the same, same length, but they're circular. Thank you. The other ones are the same length, but they're circle. So we've gotten a lot of comments and a lot of questions about how they're different. Do they strike differently? Is one better than the other? So we're gonna nail down all those differences for you today. So come along, I'll bring you up close and we'll show you. As you guys see, the obvious difference between these and a difference that that the quadratum fire steel here excels in is that it doesn't roll. So I can put this on anything and it's not gonna roll off into my fire. You're not gonna lose it as much. Anybody can use them. They're really easy to handle because of their length. They're really big. Brandon can strike them both with ease. Another one of the really good differences is they're hard yet soft. So they'll last a lifetime, but they throw gobs and gobs of real hot sparks. And you don't have to put much pressure on it in order to do that. So the striking capability of both of these are essentially the same. Now, although I can get really hot sparks off of the round one, I can really utilize the edges on the quadratum fire steels to create many, many more sparks. Now, of course, it all comes down to the striker that you're using. Now, these high-speed steel Osage orange strikers that we sell on our site, fourdirectionsbushcraft.com, they throw gobs of hot sparks because the M2 steel is so hard that it really scrapes off the soft ferrocerium really, really well. So it's all really due to the striker that you have. Now see, I can just curl up that ferrocerium with these, okay? And then of course they sit there and dance, which is really, really good because it can dry tinder out, get your tinder started really, really fast. Now, if I switch strikers, of course, both of them perform really, really well, but I have to apply more pressure and at a sharper angle, okay? Let's utilize the quadratum now. Same thing. Much more pressure and a little bit harder. I can also do it with the saws. I can use the technique of keeping my angle on my striker and pulling back on the ferro rod as well. That's a really, really good technique. You can utilize both of those techniques. So here's the circle ferro rods. So any 90-degree edge will spark these ferro rods very, very well. And our ferro rods, like I said, are made of a real nice combination of hard and soft materials that, so your ferro rod's gonna last a lifetime. I've had these for years. And also they're gonna light that tinder for you when it's real nice and wet out here. But as far as shaving material off the ferro rod, the quadratum does excel a little bit over the circle ferro rod, only because of the four sharp sides. Now, if you apply uneven pressure too fast, it will create ridges on both of these ferro rods. So you really have to get down, especially with the M2 striker steel, you really have to get down the angle of which you're striking and the pressure as well. If it's nice, even, smooth pressure, it'll turn out like that, real nice and smooth on your ferro rod. Your ferro rod will wear really, really well. If you don't, you'll get ridges like this. And that's from really going at it. So they both really perform well. I mean, gobs and gobs of sparks. And what I'm doing when I hold my striker of any sort, I'm only allowing 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch when I raise that striker up off that ferro rod. So that 90-degree angle is almost flush with that ferro rod. And